Now our first story. 17 people have died after falling into abandoned galamsey pits in the Amansia West district of the Ashanti region. 12 of the deaths occurred last in the quarter of last year alone, whilst 5 have been recorded this year as many cases go unreported. The tragedy is at the height of distraction caused by illegal mining, prompting the district assembly to initiate action to reclaim the degraded land. The Amansia West district has the highest number of illegal miners in the Ashanti region, and despite widespread of evidence of polluted water bodies, farmland and forests being turned into desert, galamsey is still regarded as a lucrative venture for majority of unemployed youth in the area. They have followed on the list by Manson Kwanta, Kaningo and Odaho, each recording a victim, with majority of victims aged between 24 and 26. Attempts by the Ashanti Regional Anti-Galamsey Task Force to clamp down on such activities could scare operators. Chief Executive Alex Kwame Bonsu says the district, considered home of illegal mining, has suffered wanton distraction caused by galamsey operators.
Pounding fufu can be a very tedious task. Well, as an outsider, one always finds this a bit hard to watch, as it always looks like the person moving the fufu around is moments away from losing their arm. Well, now with the advent of fufu pounding machines in Ghana, many Ghanaians seem to be moving from the old concept of preparing the dish, fufu. Redwan Karim Dini Usman reports, even though the machine is convenient and also prolongs the lifespan of the meal, how operators handle the food raises health concerns.
Fufu is a very popular meal in Ghana. It is made from a combination of boiled cassava and plantain or yam pounded in a mortar with a pestle into a giant mass until the mix is soft enough to swallow without chewing. It is best enjoyed with soups, palm nuts, light or granite soup, or a combination of soups. But the preparation of fufu requires hours of laborious work, from the boiling of the cassava and plantain or yam to the preparation of the soup. Pounding fufu on a regular basis has led to the hardening of many palms, with perspiration sometimes dribbling into the mixture. But with the advancements in technology, newer and easier methods are being sought to prepare this sticky mass of food. There is, for instance, a fufu pounding machine which grinds the cassava, yam or plantain within a twinkling of an eye. My curiosity to find out how these machines work took me to Kwashiman and Gbawe, all suburbs of Accra. At Kwashiman, the news team spotted a fufu milling machine a few meters away from a public toilet. The news team was shocked at closer inspection of the machine. Houseflies were seen enjoying food particles that, from the look of things, have been there for a very long time, even though the owner contends she washes it after each meal.
Make it in papa, and if it's overdoing, if you make it a man, Babo so, or make it in there. My most catching be negative. Moduala or dem kitten, Munsusua, and make it in
Attempt to talk to Charlotte Botio's customers proved futile. At Gbawe, the situation was not far from worse. Inside the milling room, I noticed the mill operator does not only twiddle with the mixture while milling, but he also dips a piece of foam into water, which is used to wet the dough in the machine to arrive at a uniform mixture. Luis Chidi is the operator here.
At times, when somebody comes and the first person is there, after he finishes, then you can pour the other person's one into it. But if it takes a little time, that one you will wash. We wash the thing before we put that the second person's food into the machine. That is the only thing we do.
For many patrons like Abena and Harrison, the advent of the fufu pounding machine is timely.
Na me show one city na the way I met na ho awo say kaka kura na obebre we wan kasa we fufu na we no kura na udi kura enye yie. Nti one city utua na say otimi be wo dey very simple mama. To me na simple.
You see, you can see that the cassava some are not good, some are hard. So immediately I cook and finish like that, I take it here because some are hard. This one is the simple way to do it.
But public health expert Dr. Dennis Bote reckons there is cause for alarm.
Bacteria, you leave it in his shop. Bacteria can grow on it, fungi can grow on it. The following day, how is that machine clean? Is there hot water or something that will kill germs and things to make sure that starting a new day, I haven't gotten this machine infected with bacteria or some things from the environment? Because once cassava is carbohydrates, fungi, they love carbohydrates. They will just start growing. The bacteria, they just capture. It's a source of nutrition for them. People should be made to be responsible. So I'm saying that the standards board should go around, encourage the people, but then they should do the right thing. Hygiene is ultimate, it's optimum for us.
The fufu pounding machines have, however, not been able to render the traditional mortar and pestle redundant. It is important that the surroundings and conditions under which the meal is prepared are hygienic.
So later in the show, we'll bring you details of the hygiene conditions of this new fufu machine. So we'll have the head of food, or the head of food, Roland, head of food, as at the FDA, Kofi Esau, being in the studio to discuss this very topic in details. Now, in other news, there was a mayhem at the Medina market in Delali in Kwanta municipality of the Greater Accra regional area when it was alleged that a number of the Kwanta municipal folks has killed a pregnant woman, but for the intervention of the police, the situation would have been worse. Emmanuel Ante was at the scene and reports.
We are here at the Medina market where an incident happened where we've been told, there's been alleged that a pregnant woman has been hit by one of the security guards around here and she's been taken to the hospital. Some are saying she is dead, others are saying she is suffering, others are saying so many things. We are here with some eyewitnesses who will tell us what really transpired here in Medina market.
At the sight of the news crew, the traders along the Medina Ebri highway got agitated and started pouring out their frustrations.
Enti doctor si so muyi we na apaegu ne yamna obenyankwa enti sese a owo omo de na kwankoko Monday up to Friday de ombetimi aye omutuma fine but Saturday to Sunday de omo fire de omo famboaye omo chaabo to ho ma yen abaye efuo no omo chaabo to ho ma si enchia 8 million yes enchia 8 million no ye ma omo 6 million e de ma omo no mo si esha anu ntia ho bro no mo boye. The
divisional commander at the Medina Police Command, who deployed his troops to the scene, confirmed 2 people have been arrested in connection with the incident.
9:30 thereabouts, the daughter raised alarm that the mother was dead on her arrival at the hospital. Incited the public crying and wailing with their hands thrown in the air helplessly. This incited the members of the public sympathy and solidarity against the municipal task force.
So when we received the information, we rushed to the scene, and those who were found infringing on people's rights were the ones who were arrested. I think he's rightly said that the woman is not dead. So once she's not dead and you are basing on a false information to take the law into your own hand, we will deal with them.
A new market has been built for these traders on the streets, but they have failed to occupy the structure, complaining of the distance from the main car park. Even though they appreciate the danger their operation along the highway poses to them, they argued their selling on the streets should be allowed.
All the people from Koforidua, Aburi and other things, when they bought the car from there and they allowed at Zongo Junction, there's a main market here. There's no way that they will come to the new market. So I said if that would be the case, they should move at least 2 or 3 stations to that place.
Joynew cannot confirm the fate of the injured woman, as she is said to have left for her hometown in Koko after being discharged from the hospital. Emmanuel, reporting for Joynew, Accra.
The gas processing plant at Itiabo in the Western region will be fully completed by March this year, according to Sinopec. Contractors working on the project. The plant, which is 87% complete, will also produce its first gas on April 28, 2014 and will be distributed after processing.
Sinopec has given itself 66 more days to complete the Ghana gas project, although the company said the project is 0.77% behind schedule. Officials of the Ghana National Gas Company Limited, the Volta River Authority, the Jubilee partners, among other stakeholders of the project on their visit to the plant site, were informed by Sinopec the plant in the next 3 months will produce gas for the country. Sinopec said the offshore pipeline which links the plant to the FPSO is about 96% complete, while the pipelines on shore are 97% complete. All utility facilities, including power generation sets, have been fixed with water tankers. However, Sinopec is yet to pre-commission the LPG tanks to fully operate, as the radioactive chemical needed for it is yet to be imported from South Africa.
Now, you were informed that you're going to get the item by the end of the month of January. I think there's a long chain of buyers, and so we are in the queue. So we are going to try to expedite our procurement by getting our embassy involved in South Africa. The delegation of Ghana Gas Sinopec will live here with the help of our embassy in South Africa to go to the supplies and make sure that we get it as quickly as possible and put it on air and air freight it to Accra.
The Ghana Gas project is apparently the most awaited project in Ghana. Ghanaians are really looking forward to this project, the completion of it, because the power generation of the country depends on it. Now, gas supply from the West African gas pipeline is currently erratic, and with the coming on stream of this project, the power generation of the country is expected to be somewhat stabilized. We have had a lot of delays with this project, and we are hoping that this time around the date that has been given would really be the date that we would have the first gas. The challenge with gas supply currently makes it crucial for government to ensure the completion of the project. The Jubilee partners also pledged they will cooperate with Sinopec and the GNGC to ensure the project is completed.
Part of the project is more national than in the individual institution, because it allows us to, one, complete a project on schedule and on budget, two, make gas available for thermal generation, and therefore reduce the cost of generation. I think the important thing right now is the coordination of our work, so that we work together so that we meet the target. Far more than debating around any other issue, coordinated work is what, and that's what the minister has said he's going to lead us to do, which is the right thing. So the coordination is what we need right now.
It is very gratifying to see a lot of progress has been made. We are committed, the Jubilee partners are committed to working to the schedules that have been established to ensure that everything is in place per our responsibilities at the appropriate time. And I think on an ongoing basis it's going to be very important that the task force is fully inclusive, that all of the stakeholders are fully committed to working together to allow us to interrogate each other regarding our own responsibilities, to build up the full confidence that we're doing the right things and being prepared to take the appropriate actions at the appropriate time to allow the project to be brought to completion.
Meanwhile, all funds needed for the completion of the project has been made available to the contractors. Sinopec assured they will surely complete the project by March 31 and distribute gas a week after April 28. Reporting from Echabu in the Western Region, Abigail Adumakwenchi.
Meanwhile, the Abuasi thermal plant is to receive 40 million standard cubic feet of gas daily from the Ghana gas plant at Etwabo after its completion. The plant is at full capacity will, however, provide the plant with 120 million standard cubic feet of gas daily. Meanwhile, the VRA says while waiting for Ghana gas, it will have to manage supply of power as it gets ready to receive about 90 million standard cubic feet of gas from Nigeria by close of the week.
Right now, the good thing about Ghana is that the load is growing roughly 200 megawatts every year, and that's a lot of growth. We're not adding on that additional capacity, and that's where we see all these challenges. Before last week, power supply had been very stable and reliable. It's just because the capacity we have is just close to the demand. So whenever a machine goes down out of a forced outage or a planned outage, then we have these challenges. So I can assure you we're doing everything possible. Right now, the recent problem was as a result of a planned outage and one forced outage, but we're working on them. We need some of these outages to make sure that we can reliably supply electricity to our customers. So with Ghana gas coming, our dependence on Nigerian gas or even on crude oil is going to minimize. They've had a number of issues. Anytime it happens, it's something to do with force majeure. So if a pipeline has been vandalized or something and they can't deliver the gas, we can't 100% blame them. As a result of a problem administration, a problem with the ELPS line, and they keep on repairing. That repair alone took them close to the whole of last year. So right now we are close to that. I talked to them early this week. They've assured me that at least the 90 million standard cubic feet will be ready by the end of the week. We're just hoping. But we wouldn't want to hope in somebody's gas. We would hope in our own gas. And I'm convinced that what I've seen today is giving us assurance that we start getting our own gas from our own field and burn to reduce the cost of generation in Ghana.
Hundreds of investors in the U.S. group of companies Tilapia projects again protested delay in payments of their interest on deposits. Well, hundreds also gathered at the Pensioners Hall in Ho in the Volta region, expecting to have a meeting with management of the company and probably receive their cash. However, that did not happen.
Instead, the public relations officer of the company, Kojo Kwashi, was the only one who showed up at the meeting. This caused investors who had packed the hall to protest, alleging it was a public relations gimmick. In attempt at answering questions from the agitated investors, some vacated their seats, stormed the stage, resulting in heckling, jeering, and booing. The police intervened with the public relations officer, assuring the investors they will receive their money beginning 28th of February 2014. The meeting ended in a chaotic style as the crowd became uncontrollable and the police had to protect the PRO, Kojo Kwashi. A nurse, Olivia Huaku, who had invested heavily, said she had given up hope of receiving her interest.
I've invested 1,000 Ghana cedis. Last they called me to come for my money, that my money matured. I came, nothing of that sort. And I came from Nkwantano to here, in and out 60 Ghana. So me, I've lost hope. Even if they don't give me my money, they can take it because lorry for in and out, guys. I mean, something that I can use. Now, I know a distance. My allowance is also not coming.
Henry Kwashi said he invested 3,500 cedis and hoped to receive 7,000 when payment begins on 28th of February.
What is the assurance that they will be paying the people, they can pay the people on that day that they are saying? And then they said they make structure for the voter regime to pay all the voter regime from that time going. So we say, well, so the BNM, the boss, made them to make undertaking. And then something went on like that. They had an undertaking and then we all dispersed. That's what's actually happening. And then they promised that they will be coming here today to talk to the people, those who in the investors, so that they understand what is going on. From the point of view, what we discussed yesterday in the BNI, I have a confidence that they will always pay.
Investors who deposited huge sums of money are yet to receive interest after a year. Some of them have gone to court to seek redress.
The Tema Development Corporation says prior to the demolition exercise carried out at the Sahara East Notice was given to residents, and the public relations officer of the corporation, Dorothy Asari Kuma, says the area were part of the encroached government land sold off by land guards to the resident without their permits. But chiefs of the area are still claiming ownership and are heading to court.
Speaking to Joy News off camera, public relations of the Tema Development Corporation stressed the demolition exercise was part of measures being implemented to acquire back the 740 acres of government land legally sold to residents. She adds the exercise became very necessary following the blatant disregard of their notices given to developers to put an end to their activities.
If they think that we have sidestepped a court, the best place to go back is the court and sentence for contempt. They use the court, it's like they use the court to place an injunction on you so that you can't develop. By the time you go, they'll be developing. 26 last year, I think 26th May, it was a Sunday, we met the community. Because you see, because that area is heavily encroached, over 740 acres, community 23 alone. All of them heavily encroached. So we looked at the situation, and then, you see, and so we told them that some would have to go for your own good. And we have plans to scheme the area properly. But whatever projects we are going to do there, if it is whatever, houses, flats, whatever, it is for the community.
She challenged the chiefs and residents who are claiming ownership of the land to go to court. But the Agbafuache of the disputed land says TDC refused on several occasions to attend the court hearing to address the matter, and he finds it strange for TDC to embark on such an exercise. He further appealed to residents to calm down whilst their legal team work on the issue.
So far as the land belongs to us, we are always defending the land because we have seen that they were finding other means to capture the land from us. And our land is not in the acquisition. Apart from the chief and the family, no one can face TDC because TDC is a corporation. And we know their time have expired. And right now it's a private entity. When we ask those who were destroying the houses, before you can destroy a house, I think it must be court order. Where is their order? They say order from above. So right now we are meeting our people, including our clients, which their buildings have been destroyed, to find measures to put in order. Yesterday we sit down with the lawyer. So they inform us to come and collect documents of the people because those who build there have building permit.
A visit to the town reveals residents are still salvaging their property from the debris. Those who have other places to go were seen parking out, but others are still spending the night outside and under trees, praying for a miracle. Matilda Vamagan for Joy News.
All wrongly placed billboards along roads and streets in the Accra metropolis are to be removed by June this year. President of the Advertisers Association of Ghana, Francis Datsi, however, believes disregarding the Ghana Standards Board specifications or the Ghana Standards Authority specifications for outdoor signs is the cause of the mayhem. He was speaking to Matilda Nyakwa Dennis. Well, so now wait for the morning. Now a recap of our top stories.
Abolished abandoned Galamsey pits in Amansia West District of the Ashanti region killed 17 people within 8 months.
Medical experts are raising health concerns about the current use of machines to pound fufu.
And gas processing plant at the Twabo in the western region to supply first gas latest this year, May 2014.
So those are the top stories we have for you for the morning. In the meantime, though, next we'll bring you some sports highlights. So now let's look at the details of the sports on the AM show, and we bring you highlights from the CHAN. And Ghana has qualified to meet Nigeria in the quarterfinals.
Sides lining up against each other in the last of the quarterfinals. Up against the more fancied Black Stars, the DRC fashioned out the first real chance of the clash, ballooned over by Dombe Mobele. Ghana had been lively without threatening in the opening half hour. Anything created dealt with enough by the Leopards. The struggle to break the deadlock was one no side managed to overcome in the first 45 minutes as another chance sailed over the target. It was going to take some fortune for any side to open the scoring, and Ghana were very happy when they were handed a penalty after a handball in the area, and despite the DRC's protests, the penalty was well converted and the Black Stars started shining. While DR Congo tried their best to dim that shine, Ghana held on to the slender lead to keep their Chan 2014 title aspirations alive, winning by a goal to nil.
Decide who would join them in the semi-finals. Two chances in the space of a minute at either end came close to opening proceedings, with the Gabonese set piece hitting the crossbar, before Ali Salama should have at least forced the keeper into a save. Libya came close with a free kick of their own midway through the half, but they would have to wait until after the break to finally have cause for celebration.
Omar has got an opportunity, finds the back of the net, it's Libya ahead, his 10th goal of the tournament.
23 minutes later, the game then swung in favour of the Panthers, as the referee pointed to the spot after a foul in the box, leaving Daniel Kuzan to set up a tense final period.
Sends him the wrong way, it's 1-0. It came on here at Peter Mokaba Stadium.
The match going into extra time, the Mediterranean Knights enjoyed the better of the post-regulation chances, as the woodwork and the keeper proved able adversaries. Still drawn at the end of extra time, the dreaded shootout ensued. The first 3 spot kicks went without incident, but a safe shot from Libya's number 1 and Sokambi Tati hitting the upright saw the North Africans go through 4-2 on penalties.
Game, set and match. Libya are through to their first Orange African Nations Championship semi-finals.
So the teams qualifying to the semi-finals, and Ghana as well meeting their own rivals in Nigeria. We'll see how that goes, and well, I don't want to predict. But in the meantime, though, the Vice President of the Ghana Football Association, Fred Krensel, has been speaking to the Joy Sports team after Ghana's game.
The Football Association now is so proud of these guys.
We're certainly very proud of them. Before we left Ghana, we knew they were going to do very well. And, you know, we're taking it game after game. And, you know, thanks be to God, we won today.
From the management level, what seems to be working for our team?
Well, it all depends on how we talk to the boys, incentives that we're giving them. And today, we were at their hotel to talk to them, you know, inspire them. And I believe the president was there as well, you know, so I believe that is what is working for us.
Have they performed beyond your expectations?
I wouldn't say they performed beyond my expectations. We're taking it game by game, and we'll still continue to win our matches. It's a one-goal project. That's what we are on.
Yeah, you just made mention of one-goal project. You sitting in the fans, normally, are you not too much worried about the one goal that you score and always, you know, these guys put all of us in some kind of fear?
Well, there's a lot of pressure in football. You got to get used to that. We would have loved to score more, but in all the matches that we've played, we've scored only one goal. We'll work on that, and I believe that we should do well in our semi-final game against Nigeria.
So where do you go from here?
We're moving on, and when I say we're moving on, we're moving on.
Please look into the camera and tell Ghanaians something for us.
Well, what I tell Ghanaians is that they should have faith in this team, even though we're not playing the kind of football that all of them will want to see. We're winning our matches, and we'll continue to win our matches. They should pray for us. They should be solidly behind the team, and we'll go play.